What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, price action moved completely without me. So, what does that mean? No trade day, which is my first no trade day in I think it's been almost 2 months actually. I've traded like every single day. Um, and I've learned so much since my last no trade day. So, let's talk about why we didn't take a trade today, and then afterwards we'll kind of talk about some other things too in terms of like focusing on the right things, whether it be in regards to trading or in life in general. So coming into today, um, this is where we open again. I trade Tokyo Open, right? So Asian session start at 6. I'll delete volume profile so that way you can see real quick. This is where we open on this green candle right here, right? So that's where we opened, and we were coming kind of like in this range a little bit, but again, no movement. Asian session has really not been moving that well. But then after that, if we go on replay, actually, you'll see before we took off, we were at value area lows. But this compression is so tight that it's not worth it if you wanted to jump in here. Now, this is 7:45. I don't trade until 8 o'clock because I like to wait for that move. And then you'll see here what ends up happening is we get to 8 o'clock and then we start exploding higher, right? So no trade. There's no need to trade at this point. We're far above value area highs as well. If I was in this trade at this time, I would have already taken off most of my position, right? Because we only aim for the current session value area high, and then we continue to prior week value area high as like the ultimate goal, right? But again, that was not on the cards today. We decided not to play it. I'm glad we didn't play it. Of course, I could have jumped in on this candle, actually somewhere, maybe somewhere around here, right, for a pullback. Jumped in here, click stop loss here for 5 points, and then aim for prior day value area high. It's very possible. But for myself, I was just like, it's too high up. I only buy on value area lows, right? Prior week value area high is a very strong support, that is true. But at the same time, this is not how I want to trade, right? So, yeah, so no trade. It's been a while since I haven't taken a trade. It really has been a long time, and I think that there has been value in trading every single day, but I also think too it has led to some bad habits as well. So even though I have learned to simplify my trading by trading every single day and realizing what works and what doesn't, I feel like by forcing a trade every single day, I've picked up a lot of bad habits, which has returned me to how I was before, which was being angry when things aren't going my way or when things aren't happening when I want them to happen, by not waiting for a setup, by forcing trades. I think there has been a lot that I've learned on the good side as well, right? Again, simplifying trades, only selling on premium levels, only buying on discount levels as well, being a little bit more patient. But overall, it has been one of those things where I look back and I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that every day, right? Whenever it comes to learning, and I'm going to jump into a little bit of stoicism here, whenever it comes to learning, the best way to learn, there's two good ways you can learn. One, you learn from your mistakes, right? You go out there, you try things, you learn from your mistakes, right? You're not afraid to look stupid, you're not afraid to look dumb. You're just learning the best that you can. But two, you learn from the correct action, right? You learn from either it be proper resources or basically resources or people or whatever the case may be that are actually correct, that are accurate in helping you learn, guiding you on your journey. Basically saying, if there's someone or something that has done it before, you can learn from those people or those things in order to help replicate it for yourself too, right? So for myself, again, I'm trading the style, right? Using volume profile. I've seen other people. I've seen people like Cami Capital or Nick for a Tick or Trader Dale or whoever, where these guys have used volume profile and they have become profitable by using it, that I can then learn from them, whether it be their live streams, their free videos, whether it's I buy a course from them, which I still haven't done, by the way. I've been saving money, so I haven't bought Kami Capital's course. But those are also proper ways that you can learn. But at the end of the day, whenever it comes to learning, you should never be afraid to learn. You should never be afraid to put yourself out there and try the best that you can in order to improve yourself. So I do have a quote from Epictetus. That's my guy, my favorite Stoic author. And it goes like this. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. Don't wish to be thought to know anything. And even if you appear to be somebody important to others, distrust yourself. For it is difficult to both keep your faculty of choice in a state conformable to nature and at the same time acquire external things. But while you are careful about the one, you must of necessity neglect the other. So it sounds a little bit confusing, but I did read this quote on Reddit in the Stoicism subreddit, and there was a follow up to the quote where somebody commented and said, Epictetus is specifically talking about improving your character by following Stoic philosophy. Non philosophers will think that you are foolish and stupid by not valuing external things, and you need to accept that fact before you will be able to improve yourself. The more you wish to acquire external things, like reputation, the harder it will be for you to acquire a good character. When you're paying close attention to one, you're not paying enough attention to the other. And I absolutely agree with that too. There's so many things that can be learned. Again, that's why I call this channel Trading Stoically, is because Stoicism has a lot to do with life, but most definitely has a lot to do with trading as well, right? When it comes to learning, and I'm going to speak about myself too, because again, these are my personal journals. I have to be able to put myself out there. I can't be afraid to look stupid, right? So when I'm asking questions such as, oh, when should I go break even? Right? Or, I mean, even if it's a general question like, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing anything wrong? You have to be open to being thought of as a fool from other people who are watching you. And that's okay, right? It is a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes too, especially the days that are very embarrassing, right? Where I blow up an account, I tilt, I completely lose regard for what I'm supposed to be doing, right? I'm a slave to my emotions, all of those things. And it becomes very difficult to be able to record a video and put it on, again, it's still my journal, but a public journal for other people to see and criticize and comment or support or encourage or whatever, right? Because it just makes me feel like I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that, right? But at the end of the day, we're learning. We're learning. There are no such thing as L's, it's only lessons. I forgot who said that, but I think that might have been G. I think G might have said that. But that's what you have to remember, you know? You have to remember that you have to put yourself out there to learn. You have to ask the questions. You can't be afraid to look stupid. I remember being in high school, my best friend Sam would always be like, "You ask the dumbest questions, but then you do so well on the algebra exam." And it's like, I was just trying to learn. And in this case, too, that's what I want to do. The second part of that quote that I also want to talk about, too, is focusing on the good things, like I was saying earlier as well. In order to be a good trader, you have to focus on the good things. You have to focus on your process. So, for example, today, I did not take a trade. I could have forced one, but I did not take one today because I know that in the long run, that is not good for me, whether it worked out or not, right? It's also the same thing too with this YouTube channel. I could easily fake my profits. I could easily start putting clickbait thumbnails or titles or whatever the case may be to try to garner views, right? But for myself, it's like, is that being a good person? Is that being what you want this channel to be, which is fully transparent and open to people and letting them know, like, hey, like, this is what it's like to be a trader. This is what it's like for someone who goes from unprofitable to profitable, right? You have to be able to keep those things in perspective. And like I've mentioned before, it is understandable why people that are trading influencers go out there and fake their trades, fake the amount of profits they make, show the lifestyle, and then eventually sell those courses to people who are vulnerable, people who just want to make money. I've talked about this in my video, kind of talking about my journey, but there was a time, I'll make this story very short because I want to go to sleep, where I was buying basically signals. This was like years ago, where essentially I was part of this Discord. It was called Atlas Trading. So I wasn't really buying because it was free, but at the same time too, it was like they led us astray. They pumped and dumped us. They, not that they made us lose money, but they misled us into believing that these guys were going to save all of us and give us financial freedom, when at the end of the day, when you really look at it, you are the one who is going to save yourself. No one else is going to save you. So the quicker that you realize that, the quicker that you understand that, you're better off for doing that. But by getting there, you have to be able to focus on the right process, and you have to focus on who you actually want to be, which I hope is to be a good person that provides for your family, that provides for yourself, and that wants to attain not the materialistic things, but the intangibles, what's deep inside of you in order for you to progress as a person. So I hope that's the goal for anyone who's watching. Um, but anyway, guys, I've been rambling way too much. I want to go to sleep soon. It's been a long day. Last few nights I've been going to sleep because of the fact that trades have taken so long. But here, as you can see, um, we have nothing. So I'm glad that um, we didn't take a trade today and I can go to sleep. So anyway, guys, that is it for this video today. I really hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.